and welcome back to the Tennis Podcast, the show where I host, and we talk a lot about Dustin Hoffman's ass.
I'm Brandon, by the way. I'm also a person who's sitting here and enjoys equal access and airtime.
I disagree that you have equal access.
Access, well, I don't know what we're talking about. Access to what?
Dustin Hoffman's ass.
Oh, no, I don't, and I don't want it. I imagine it looks a lot like his cheeks, which are sort of deflated.
You know, I looked at Dustin Hoffman pictures after last week. And
trying to see if there was some of his ass.
And most of his headshots I found to be somewhat seductive and sensual.
He kind of looks like a raisin with eyes now. He's an old man.
He's an old man, but his ass tastes great. If you're ever forced to draw a A-list celebrity name out of a hat to eat their ass, Dustin Hoffman could be worse. Could be Anthony Hopkins.
He could do worse. Yeah, he could do worse. Anthony Hopkins has an estranged daughter.
All right, so this is just turned into the recap of last week's show. Basically, this is a podcast, if you're a first-time listener, where one of us Yankees takes the top 10-ish list and the other tries to guess it without any prior preparation or knowledge about what that list is. This week, we are talking something not Halloween, for God's sake, I hope.
We're washing Halloween out of our system. Right. Spooktober is over, and we're going to have to start preparing our souls and our spirits for the onslaught of holiday cheer. So I brought something light and fluffy.
Is it Dustin Hoffman's ass?
I told you it's not fluffy, it's deflated. It might have been fluffy, like in the late 60s. Anyway, I brought something cute and cuddly today. This week, we're covering the top 10 most popular dog breeds in the U.S.
Huh, all right.
You could see you're fucking bowled over with excitement.
Most popular dog
breeds.
Now, are we talking breeds in the sense of vicious sex?
No.
For reproduction purposes?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We're talking about kinds of dogs. This is from the American Kennel Club, which I assume is the...
You're a subscriber?
Governing body. No, when you get a dog and the dog has papers, whatever those are, you get them from the American Kennel Club. I don't know what it means.
Okay.
It is going to be fun because for each one of these dogs, I have a famous example.
Of course. And do you have some Brandon's bullshit bulletins as well?
Bullets. Brandon's bullets are on here.
Oh, okay.
For one of these, there are no less than 15 bullets.
15 bullets?
15 bullets on one of these.
You think we got all day? Our listeners don't got all day, Brandon.
We don't, but we do need to get some dogs out of the way. And I want you to start by telling me what dogs are you sure are not the most popular dog breeds in the United States. This is for 2017, the year 2017. There's also been a recent shakeup in the top 10, but we'll get to that later.
What's that one dog called? I gotta look it up.
Clifford.
The Chinese Crested. I'm gonna guess that is not in the top 10.
No, the Chinese...
Oh, wait. Is this global or U.S.?
This is just in the U.S. What does a Chinese Crested dog look like?
Well, if only there was some sort of internet device that could allow you to search for those specific words.
Not to type and click while we record, so you look it up. Well, I can't see it. Damn it.
But then you can't see it. Chinese Crested, how about I describe it to you
I don't,
and the listeners at home?
Yeah, for our listeners at home, tell the folks at home what a Chinese Crested...
they could also be at work or in the car. The Chinese Crested dog is one of those dogs with like
oh, Jesus.
Naked body. But a naked body, but then long hair on the ears and face and neck.
This dog looks like the kind of woman who hangs out in a nasty bar and has no ass and smokes a lot.
I'm going to say the Chinese Crested not in the top 10.
No. Oh, is one of the Chinese Crested dogs also the world's ugliest dog? Have you ever seen The World's Ugliest Dog?
According to who?
Just Google it. I promise. There's only one World's Ugliest Dog.
Oh my god.
Oh my god is right. Whatever you're doing.
Well, there's a lot of different results.
There's a lot of different ugly dogs.
Oh, this is
God
horrible.
damn it. There's one that's worse than all the others. And it looks just like a chupacabra. Oh my god.
I can't look at
Why
this
did we
anymore.
do this?
All right, so another one I'm going to guess is the... What's that one that looks like the NeverEnding Story dragon thing? Chinese... It's Chinese too. Chinese dog.
Falcor?
What is this thing called? Pekingese.
Falcor and a Pekingese.
How do you just know the god... you're so... you're such a frustrating human.
What, that I knew who Falcor was?
Yes.
Well, I'd seen that movie a bunch of times.
30 years ago.
I've never stopped watching it because the thing is never fucking ending.
Okay, well, Falcor is an evolved Pekingese breed of dog. And I'm going to guess that the Pekingese and Falcor did not make the top 10.
No, you shouldn't have me look stuff up while we're talking because I just start looking at weird pictures and I can't concentrate.
Let's both close
Falcor's not in the top 10.
Google machine.
Any more surefire dogs too ugly to be in the top 10?
Well, I think all dogs are cute in their own way.
Not all the ones I just looked at.
I'm going to guess that well, when we say popular, we mean the dogs that are most commonly owned, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Irish Setter.
Yeah, he's not on here. I'm scrolling. I'm still scrolling.
I closed my Google machine so I could be an effective
Well, I have
host.
the full list here. I have a very long list. I have the top. I'm still scrolling. I have the top 190 most popular dog breeds. Do you want to know what the last one is?
Is that all dog? How many dog breeds are there?
I guess 190.
Yeah, what's last?
It's a Norwegian Lundehund. Lundehund? It's a little thing. It just looks like a little thing. I mean, it's kind of cute. I don't know why.
Well, some of these dogs are more popular in other countries.
Sure.
I think the Chinese Crested is popular in Chile.
Here's your Irish Setter. It's 154.
These cute
People
little guys.
hate them.
No. Some of the breeds, it's not that people don't like them, it's that they're rare or expensive, too.
There's one answer on here that is among the most expensive dogs I'm aware of. Let's get into it. Start guessing that top 10.
I feel like this is going to be easy, so I'm hoping there's some curveballs in here. Let's start with the Labrador Retriever.
Yeah, everybody knows that.
That's got to be number 1 or 2.
It is number 1. Labrador Retriever is number 1 and has been since at least 2013. That's no surprise to anybody. But tell
me about the Labrador.
But what is a surprise? I'm not going to tell people about. If you don't know what a Labrador Retriever is, I don't know. You're not going to learn from this podcast, I guess. You shouldn't do anything to yourself. But
they listen to this podcast to learn from me.
Well,
and so I'll tell them what the Labrador Retriever is.
Okay, just tell them.
It's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually black, brown, or kind of beige.
Yellow,
sure. Well, that's what they're called, a yellow lab. But I mean, you look at it and you tell me if it looks like it's the same color as a bottle of mustard.
Old Yeller.
Old Yeller was a lab, sure.
And he was Yeller.
No.
Although his coat was Yeller.
Who's a famous lab out there? Okay, so this dog has 4 legs.
I have a famous lab that is going to knock your socks off.
Let me finish describing the Labrador to our listeners who look to me for education.
Explain to the folks at home what a Labrador Retriever looks like.
It's got 4 legs, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. It's got a tail
in the
that
front
protrudes right above the anus,
which is on the top.
And it's on the top of that, and it points outward toward the sky.
How many horns does it have?
It has 1 horn by 2 testicles on its underside south of the belly. And that horn is called a penis. And it sticks that penis into vaginas to reproduce. But it also uses the penis to urinate. And by urinating, it removes unneeded fluids from
That's everything
the body.
we need to know about labs now.
No, it also has teeth, ears, eyes, nose. It has toenails. And they're cute, and they're usually around, I think, like 50 or so pounds.
Okay, so if you've been
and they're smart.
If you've been drawing a picture of this,
yeah, and I'd rather host this podcast with a Labrador Retriever than Brandon. They'd make a better sidekick.
Let me tell you about a sidekick that is better than me. If he wasn't dead, I guess I should point out that a lot of the dogs we're going to talk about today are dead.
Wow. Spoiler.
His name is Endel. Have you ever heard of Endel, the most decorated dog in the world?
No.
Well, now you have. He is a dog that is a helper dog, an assistant dog.
There's no way that's the most famous dog, but go ahead.
Well,
Old Yeller is more famous than that dog.
Old Yeller didn't do all the shit that Endel has done.
All right, let's hear it. What time frame are we talking here? How old was Endel? What color was Endel?
Oh,
what was his owner's
just
name?
a minute.
What was his favorite treat?
I don't know his owner's name. He was in the Royal Navy, and he was injured. And his injuries included a brain injury where he experienced 50% memory loss and had difficulty making memories for longer than 2 days, along with some other mental and physical impairments. So he got a helper dog, a yellow lab, a fella by the name of Endel.
Oh, I thought all the stuff you're talking about was Endel.
No, Endel was not a human in the Royal Navy. That's the human who got Endel. Okay. And then Endel became smarter than any child I've ever met. Endel could respond to over 100 instructions. He understood basic sign language. He could retrieve items from supermarket shelves, operate buttons and switches. Get this shit, he could load and empty a washing machine.
With dog toys?
No. Picking up clothes with his mouth or his paws. They didn't say. I don't know.
But did he know if they were dirty already or had they already been cleaned?
I don't know. He might have done a shitty. He might have pulled.
Because if they were already clean, I think that'd be actually a frustrating
They didn't say
skill.
that he emptied the washing machine, and he might have taken a shit on the clothes.
And did he put detergent in the correct slot in the washing machine?
He could use a card. I guess the credits for using the washing machine were on a card. He used the card and he put the card back in the wallet, which makes me think he could also take a card out of a wallet. He could pull the plug if his owner fell in the bath. He could pull out the plug so the water started draining, put the owner in the recovery position, and then call on the telephone for help.
How? You're going to have to explain.
I don't know. They just said it, and I took them at their word.
Okay. So, in other words, you did a shoddy job of research.
It was on Wikipedia.
So everyone out there, say it with me. What else is new? All right,
it
go
was
ahead.
on Wikipedia.
Oh, good.
He could use an ATM.
Let's stop. Let's talk about the phone call.
No, there's a special button on the phone, like an emergency call for help. Like, help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Well, you said that he used the phone.
Yes, the button is attached to the phone.
Yeah, but what you said was misleading because you made it sound like he would hit the phone in a way that it would come off the hook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did that on purpose.
You know, like a rotary phone. And then he would dial the rotary around, calling the thing with his paw. And then he'd call someone, and he'd first say, "Hey, how you doing today? Oh, we have an emergency here. Woof, woof."
By omitting the boring facts, I'm presenting a story with more pizzazz. But I'm not lying. He did use the phone. He just didn't memorize.
You said you didn't know how. I asked, how did the dog use the phone? And you said, I don't know. Wikipedia,
they said there was
blah,
a
blah,
button.
blah.
I don't know if he hit it with his paw. I don't know if he had to knock the receiver off and then hit it with his paw. I don't know the specifics.
So the takeaway here is take anything Brandon says with a big old grain of salt.
Yeah.
Why don't you continue? Though?
Opening doors. He could operate lifts, which is what they call elevators in jolly old England where he lived.
So wait a minute. You're doing a list on the top 100, the top dog breeds in America, and then you bring us a German dog.
Well, I said England, which is British.
Or England, I meant. A British dog.
There's plenty of German dogs to deal with on this list, too. He's the most popular in the U.S., but for the reasons they are the most popular dog are the same reasons that Endel is special. Can I give you the last two facts? Mm-hmm. He could also bring in the newspaper.
Big deal. Big whoop.
He's also the first dog to ride the London Eye Ferris wheel, which I guess you could actually just say he was the first dog someone put onto the Ferris wheel.
Was he the first dog that unsubscribed from our podcast because of you?
No, he's dead.
Well, how'd he die? And what year?
He had a stroke. I mean, we said it was going to be...
The dog?
He said it was going to be cuddly. He had like a stroke and something else too, and then he died. They had to put him down.
Rest in peace,
Spooktober continues.
Let's see if you really did your research. Can you tell me the origins of the Labrador Retriever?
No, I didn't do all that research.
Okay, so if I was doing this list, that's what I would have done.
I did fun stuff.
That's all right. Okay, so anything else on the Labrador Retriever?
No, that's it. I think there was one in Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey.
Yeah, wasn't Clifford... Clifford would be a red Labrador Retriever, right?
Yeah.
Clifford, the giant dog?
Clifford, the big dog.
What was his owner's name, the little girl?
Sally.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I've read this shit recently. Not on my own. There was a child involved. It was my child, not a child I got from the street. Did you read this
in bed and on your Kindle? Or sorry, your recliner?
I had to get a bigger iPad so I could see it.
By the way, everyone, Brandon does routinely fall asleep around 8 o'clock in his recliner in the living room, snoring with his mouth open. That's a fact. All right, why don't we continue to other breeds? I'm going to say the German Shepherd is...
It's always later than 8 o'clock. It's always later than 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Maybe daylight
I've been playing that Red Dead Redemption. I don't have time to sleep.
Okay. German Shepherd, around number 5.
Well, speaking of German Shepherd, I got a fact about a German Shepherd. German Shepherd, also, it's number 2 on the list.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't matter if you guess the list. That's not the point. Some of these you're never going to get, and I'm going to love it.
Tell me about the German Shepherd.
I didn't have a whole lot on these other than my famous one. Speaking of Red Dead Redemption, a famous dog from a video game is Dogmeat from Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's a good dog.
Dogmeat is one of my favorite characters from a video game. I went to great lengths to find Dogmeat when he was lost, to protect him when we fought, and to put cute clothes on him, including goggles. I even had a harness so I could pick him up.
Would you take Dogmeat over Han Solo?
Well, what am I doing with him? Just hanging out? Or
as a character?
Oh, well, Dogmeat can't talk. So Han Solo.
He emotes with his face and other ways.
And his butt and his tail. But no, I would still take Han Solo.
Can you describe for the folks at home what a German Shepherd looks like?
They're brownish, black, a little bit of both, maybe a little bit of gray in there, sort of some spots. They have
how many legs?
4 of them. They got it.
How many tails?
1 tail. It's got some fluff on it. They have 2 pointy ears. They have a sharp beak.
You know, I think the German Shepherd is the world's smartest dog.
Probably.
No, actually, I think that's the Border Collie.
The only note I have on here is because it's not the only time a German dog shows up in this list. So what's with all the Germans on the list?
Who really won the World War II?
Given the German Shepherd's propensity to sign up for police jobs and military jobs and put on a uniform and grab a weapon, are German Shepherds the Nazis of the dog world?
You're saying that other dogs don't like the German Shepherds?
No, I'm saying, are they the Nazis? Are they the fascists of the dog world, wanting to wear a uniform and march a little dog march and bite people they don't agree with?
Adolf Hitler, listener of the show, he had a German Shepherd. What was his name? I think it might have been a her. What was her name?
Scuffles.
Yeah, that was it.
Another famous German Shepherd, the closest to famous I could get. Famous is in quotation marks. The German Shepherd dog Jerry Lee from the movie K-9. Did you ever see the movie K-9?
No.
It stars...
I saw K-19, The Widowmaker, starring Harrison
This
Ford.
is a prequel. It stars John Belushi's less talented brother, Jim Belushi, as a San Diego cop named Mike Dooley, who has a bad attitude and gets paired with a mischievous, wise-ass drug dog named Jerry Lee for a case. And then hijinks ensue.
And they become best friends in the end, right? Fucking boring.
Licking
Formulaic,
each other's faces and eating peanut butter together in bed. Yeah.
Well, I like German Shepherds, but they shed too much.
The dog went on to build a submarine, and that's where you get to K-19, the Widowmaker. Yeah. So then number 2, German Shepherd.
So would you take Harrison Ford's character in The Widowmaker or Han Solo?
Han Solo. I'm going to say Han Solo almost anything you put him up against.
If you'd like to hear Brandon go on and on about Han Solo, listen to episode 11 of the 10ish podcast.
Or just keep listening to this one. It'll probably
Are we
happen.
done with German Shepherds?
Yep. Give me another one. You've got the first 2. I'm sure you're...
I'm going to guess number 3 right now.
Do it.
Golden Retriever.
Did you look this up?
No, but these are obvious.
Well...
And I know a lot about dogs. I used to work at a veterinarian.
They're going to get a lot less obvious. The Golden Retriever, for the
3.
folks at home, take your drawing you did of the Labrador Retriever. Put more hair on it. That's a Golden Retriever. The Golden Retriever I have on my list, the bullet point here, is a famous retriever by the name of Comet from Full House.
Well, you know, the main dog in Homeward Bound was a Golden Retriever too, I think.
Oh, that's right. He wasn't a lab. He was a Golden Retriever.
And an Airbud.
Airbud.
Golden Retriever.
Damn right. Airbud was a Golden Retriever. Airbud went on to conquer every sport that you could possibly cram on a direct-to-video movie.
He didn't conquer professional wrestling.
Who knows? There's a bunch on Netflix right now, and Airbud has dominated every sport. He is the Bo Jackson of dogs.
UFC.
Yeah, there's one where him kicking the shit out of an Irishman.
I don't see people by their ethnicities like you do, so everyone is on equal ground.
He was fighting Conor McGregor, and he scratched him with his nails.
Was that kid there from the first one?
What kid?
The kid in
from
the first
Airbud?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never saw it.
I can't believe you just took us through the last few minutes without ever having seen it.
I can see the fucking image for what each Airbud movie entails. They don't bury the lead. Airbud, hockey bud, lacrosse bud, Airbud.
That's not how they... We need to move on from Airbud because you're pissing me off.
I bring up Comet from Full House because I want to pause for a moment and think about Full House. I mean, I guess we have to talk about it too because thinking is very quiet. Did you watch a lot of Full House? Not do you? Maybe you do. Did you? When you're growing up?
I've seen the show a few times. Yeah.
Hold on a second. You've only seen it a few times?
I've seen probably 10 episodes.
I'm happy for you.
I'm familiar with the show.
I'm happy for you that you have not seen every episode multiple times and you don't fucking know why. You hate the show. You think everything about the show sucks and is stupid, but you can't stop watching it when the shitty thing is on. From the time I was a kid, I knew that show sucked. I knew it was awful. And every Friday night...
Think about how good looking the one guy is. What's his name?
Danny Tanner? Oh, Uncle Jesse? John Stamos?
Yeah, him.
He's a good looking dude.
He's dreamy. How would you stack him up against Aaron Eckhart? And by stack him up, I don't mean stack him up naked on top of each other.
Who's a more handsome fella?
Yeah.
Well, variety's the spice of life. Who am I to say which one's more handsome?
I'm asking you which one's more handsome.
Probably John Stamos because he still looked handsome when he had a mullet.
Yeah, he should have been Frankenstein's monster.
The most beautiful monster of all. All right, well that's Golden Retrievers. So far you've gotten them in order, and you think you're the shit. But give me number 4, fucking smartass.
So I'm going to say a few out loud, but I'm not going to settle on number 4.
Mm-hmm.
So just give me a minute. So we got the Boxer, we got the Border Collie, the Poodle, the Shih Tzu, the Yorkie.
Bulbasaur.
You knew a Pokemon.
I know one, yeah. I know some.
Name some.
Pikachu, Squirtle, Meowth.
How do you know Meow?
Because he's a bad guy, right? He's kind of a little rascal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Meowth. He's a rascal. I said Squirtle, right?
Yeah. Remember Dragonite?
Well,
okay. Charizard, Charmander.
Mm-hmm.
You know these guys?
No. I mean, I've heard the name before. No, that's it. That's all I know. Pokebugs.
You know who Bulbasaur evolves into?
Sebulba.
Beelzebub. All right, number 4. I'm going to guess number 4 is...
What, 30 seconds of silence?
There's also the Chihuahua and the Dachshund.
Yeah, those are dogs that exist also.
Is it a big dog or a little dog?
It's a little dog.
I'm going to go with the Dachshund.
You're wrong. You're dead wrong. The Dachshund's not even in the top 10. God, it feels good to bring you back down to reality. Let me tell you where the Dachshund is. Dachshund is number 13 on the list.
You wish it was number 1 because it reminds you of the hot dogs you eat in the airport.
No, it reminds me of Chewy, the Dachshund who lives at my house.
Dachshund is a weenie dog for the folks at home.
Yeah, for the folks at home who are 6 years old.
All right, what's number 4 then? Oh, I guess I have to guess it.
Yeah,
okay.
Dachshund is not on the list. You don't have to guess number 4. Just guess a dog that's on the top 10.
Shih Tzu.
No, the Shih Tzu is not on the top 10 list. One might say that that's bullshit Tzu. I don't have any facts on the bullshit Tzu, on the Shih Tzu, other than to tell you that they are number 20. Give me another dog.
You said it was small. So Chihuahua?
No, Chihuahua's on here. We're going to skip talking about Chihuahuas because...
I just want to know what number.
What number they are. Yeah, sure. Chihuahuas are... Oh, man, I'm scrolling. 32 on the list.
You know, it's actually pronounced Chihuahua.
Chihuahuas. Chihuahua. Chihuahuas are number 32 on the list. They've been dropping since 2013. They were number 22, and now they've been dropping. So, yeah, not on the top 10.
Is everything on here a full breed, so we're not going to be like a mix?
Yeah, no mixes. Nothing fancy.
All right, well, I'm trying to think what other small dogs. A Yorkie?
Well, you're thinking really small, but yes, a Yorkshire Terrier is on here.
What number?
Yorkies are number 9 on the list. The Yorkies, for the folks at home who've never seen a dog before, Yorkies are really small, usually like 4, 5, 6 pounds. They have long hypoallergenic hair, and they look like plush animals. They look fake. They're so cute that they look fake. And
how many eyes?
2 eyes. 4 legs, 2 eyes.
One for seeing and one for
thinking.
Thinking. Okay, got it.
I couldn't find any famous Yorkies. I didn't know a famous Yorkshire Terrier.
How about Gidget?
Who's Gidget?
Wasn't that like a famous TV dog in like the 60s?
No, Gidget was Sally Field. She's a human. Gidget was Sally Field. No, a Yorkshire Terrier that is famous that I found is Smokey the War Dog. You want to hear about Smokey the War Dog? She was 4 pounds. She was 7 inches tall. She was found in 1940.
Now, hang on. You said she's 4 pounds. How many stones is she?
I don't know how. That's
the conversion rate for that.
It's like less than a quarter of a stone.
Okay.
But she was American.
All right, go ahead.
Or she was found by an American in an abandoned foxhole in the New Guinea jungle in 1944. And then she was sold to Corporal William A. Wynn of Cleveland, Ohio, for £2 Australian, which is equal to about $6.44 at the time. But this little dog would go on to be a real pal in the war. She backpacked and flew combat flights throughout the Pacific.
Now, she carried a backpack or she was carried inside of a backpack?
She was carried inside of the backpack, but she might have also worn a little backpack inside that backpack. And she didn't control the flight of the plane. She rode in a bag on that plane. Okay. She did, however, once parachute from a height of 30 feet out of a tree.
Why? For fun?
I think it was for fun. But the fun part will make sense with the last fact about her. She once helped run telegraph wire for the Signal Corps. And it was a task that would have taken a lot of men, like 3 days to complete, digging these holes. But she did it in a couple of minutes because she just ran through a little tube. But after the war, she also became the first therapy dog.
The first therapy?
Yeah, she would welcome wounded soldiers in the war. She was famous by then in the Pacific, and they all wanted to pet Smokey the war dog. Now that was cute and cuddly, because I didn't tell you that she died. I mean, she did eventually die, but that wasn't part of the notes. That was a sweet story.
What's this dog's name again?
Smokey the war dog. I think it's because she liked to smoke cigarettes.
It's a hell of a life for a little dog.
Hell yeah.
Let me ask you something. You mentioned she died.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the lifespan of dogs? Is it just right? Too short, too long?
Perfect. I wish the lifespan of humans was the same.
Every human except
right.
you.
Then I could just, if I wanted to, maybe in 10 or 12 years, I want to, completely change who I hang out with. I want to be friends with goth kids. I could be goth for a while.
When you're an adult, man.
Just switch everybody I hang out with to goth. Or maybe
you don't have to switch anyone you hang out with. You just have to start hanging out with people.
Well, they'd be dying off. I'd feel bad about hanging out with, like, the jocks. And by all the time my jock friends died, I'd just go switch over and pick up some goth kids, friends, and then I'd switch over and...
Yeah, I know jock, that's right up your alley, jock friends. So, do you think that humans will ever find a way to extend life for the average human into, like, the hundreds of years?
For a human?
Yeah. Maybe it could be 1,000 years from now, could be 100 years from now, or it could be tomorrow. Do you think the technology will ever exist to extend the lifetime of a human?
Of the human body? No. To extend a consciousness? Yes, because I watched Westworld.
And Black Mirror has an episode on that.
Let's get back to the list. This is gonna run really long.
Oh bullshit! We're like a half hour. If human consciousness is extended, do you think that will happen in your lifetime?
No, I'm gonna die the normal way of
sitting in your recliner asleep.
I'm gonna have a heart attack snoring at 8:45 on a Thursday. No, I'm gonna die like most Americans. I'm gonna fall face down at a sporting event screaming.
With all your jock friends present.
Yeah. Oh, there's a jock dog on here too, so I got some jock stuff for that.
I'm surprised the Yorkie is higher than the Shih Tzu and the Wiener dog.
Mm-hmm. I think the next dog we get will probably be a Yorkshire Terrier.
All right, how about the Bulldog?
The Bulldog. Well, there's 2 Bulldogs on this list, so I'll talk about both of them. Bulldogs take up the 4th and 5th positions.
Wow, I am shocked at how high. So, okay, tell me about the Bulldog.
Well, number 4 is the French Bulldog.
Oh, the French Bulldog.
The French Bulldog, for the folks at home, is a bulldog that looks all shrunk down. Its proportions are all messed up, and its ears are super big, and it still has a tiny little bulldog face that's all a mess of extra skin, and I want one so bad.
How many noses?
They have one, well, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it's one, but there's a lot of extra stuff on their face. A lot of extra skin, a lot of extra fluff and folds, and I love it.
Yeah.
I want a French Bulldog so bad, but I'm never going to get one for 2 reasons. One, as I mentioned before, they are very expensive. They cost thousands of dollars.
Do they?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, like $2,000 or $3,000 for a French Bulldog.
Did you hear that from someone who didn't want any other people to have French Bulldogs?
Yeah.
He wanted to be the only person that had them.
He was hoarding them. No, they're very expensive. You wouldn't want one of these.
In that Seinfeld episode,
he was a villain.
When that Jake Jarmel has the glasses that he doesn't want anyone else to have. Do you know what I'm talking about? All right. We can move on, but some people out there are nodding.
They also have, I think, breathing and other health issues, and I feel bad for them. So they're very cute. Follow Walter the Frenchie on Instagram. Shout out to Walter. He's a listener.
Listener of the show.
I think Walter can fucking hear everything with those ears. That's number 4, French Bulldog. Number 5 is just a regular old big fat bulldog.
English
Bulldog.
Regular old big fat.
There's 2, I got 2 famous bulldogs on here for number 5. One is Tillman the skateboarding bulldog. You laugh and you say, I don't know that dog, but I know a few years ago.
No, I think I have seen
everyone saw Tillman the skateboarding bulldog.
Tillman.
And for you jocks out there, Uga. Uga, the mascot for the University of Georgia.
Okay.
Do you want to hear a joke about Uga, the dog who's the mascot for the University of Georgia?
Does it have to do with Daniel Tiger saying Uga, Uga, Uga? Okay. I'll hear your joke.
You know, Uga, there's like Uga, the guy in the mascot costume. Then there's Uga, an actual dog, right?
The guy in the mascot costume, his name's probably not Uga, but
there's a dog, an actual dog named Uga, who attends the games, football games.
Does he get himself some popcorn and a hot dog while he's there? Maybe a busy bone?
He wears a shirt. So anyway, at University of Georgia football game, there's these two hillbillies, two rednecks. Is there a difference?
Wow.
You can make fun of...
You're making fun of the Irish? You're making fun of the...
Hillbillies?
The hillbillies?
I'm a hillbilly.
Well, yeah, you're goddamn right about that.
I told my son is 5, I tell my son he's a hillbilly or he's part hillbilly, and he gets very upset. I tell him we come from hill people. So there's these two hillbillies at a University of Georgia game. One of them looks down, he sees Uga, the dog, and Uga is licking his balls. And Uga is really going to town on him. And the first redneck sees it, and he says, "Man, I wish that dog would do that to me." And the second redneck goes, "Man, that dog would bite you."
Wait, that's it?
Yes.
What's the joke?
You don't get that joke? If I told you that I wanted that dog to lick my balls, your first instinct wouldn't be to shock and horror and disgust. It would be to warn me that the dog might bite me.
This is an awful joke.
This is an amazing joke.
Did you make this up?
No.
In your recliner?
No, someone told it to me.
I'd like to classify that as a bad joke. Do you want to hear a good joke?
Sure.
Well, you're going to have to look that up later.
You got the first 5. Let's hit.
I got a fun fact about a bulldog.
Okay.
The bulldog, I don't know if the French applies to this too, but at least the English bulldog is unable to reproduce naturally. Did you know
they
that?
Reproduce unnaturally? They do it missionary position?
People have to take the semen from the bulldog, and I'm not really sure why, but just something about their bodies.
Uh-huh.
They can't achieve sexual intercourse in such a way that would impregnate the female or the male.
Well, yeah, they're shaped like. Do either of your kids have any Tsum Tsums? Are you familiar what a Tsum Tsum is?
No.
Tsum. Tsum. Google it. Look.
I hate it already.
Google it.
Right now?
Yeah. Because this is what a bulldog is shaped like, and this is why they can't get their genitals to align. Click on images, and
I got it. All right. First of all,
they're sort of egg/cylindrical shaped, cute little pudgy shapes.
They're toys, and they're basically shaped like a ball. It's like
an elongated ball, and that's how
okay.
That's how a bulldog is shaped. And I try to line up these Tsum Tsums and get them to fuck all the time, and it's impossible.
Yeah. So the bulldog is the same way. So any bulldog you see was not the result of a male bulldog and a female bulldog having sexual relations.
Yeah.
Someone made that happen.
Stepped in.
A mad scientist, Frankenstein, Aaron Eckhart.
A pervert.
Aaron Eckhart and John Stamos made it happen. We got the top 5 and number 9.
Yep. You'll never guess one of these.
I'm going to guess next the Border Collie.
No, not on the list at all.
I'm going to guess next the Poodle.
Yes, the Poodle is on the list. It's number 7.
Was that the one I was never going to guess?
No. And I have nothing for Poodle. I don't know any famous poodles.
God damn it.
And I have to tell you something about poodles. The ones that are super fluffy, especially the white ones that have like a shape where they're shaved somewhere and fluffy somewhere else.
Okay.
I know they're a dog, but they don't look like a dog to me, and it kind of weirds me out.
Now, does the number 7 poodle include all versions of the poodle?
Mm-hmm.
Or is miniature poodle a separate entry?
No, it's just a big old puddle of poodle.
You know, the poodle's probably smarter than you are.
That's
I think
what
the
hear.
smartest dogs are the poodle, the golden retriever, the German shepherd, and the border collie.
If that dog's so smart, why is it shaving its ass in the winter?
Well, it's not. That is being inflicted upon it by its owner.
Do you think that kind of haircut is a little bit cruel to do to a dog? I don't know. It may not be.
No. But I think it's cruel to
Make me look at it.
So you're not a fan of the poodle, huh?
I don't like that look. I don't know. It's just something. It reminds me of hedge animals, which reminds me of the book The Shining. The hedge animals, remember? They came to life, and it was creepy. Creepy in the book, not in the TV miniseries. And the poodle, when they have those puffy balls around like their feet and their chest and on their head, they kind of look like that.
Well, not to fear anyone, because the poodles can have sex all they want, unlike the bulldog, and unlike Brandon's Tsum Tsums.
I don't know what else to say about poodles. I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. They just make me uncomfortable.
I had a dog that was part poodle growing up.
Did it have any?
He didn't look like a poodle though.
Okay, good. He didn't have any shaved areas.
No.
Shaved on a dog, bad.
How do you feel about the poodle haircut on a person?
Like a really hairy guy?
No, like their head. So they'd have the poof in the back of the head, like a tail, and then short hair on the head, and then kind of like
The Weeknd?
Dee Dee in Rugrats.
Oh, yeah. I think there's some people out there
like
with that haircut right now. There's some popular recording artists who do some of those songs that's like, clubbing featuring Spizza.
This is painful. Are you done?
Oh no! I think young recording artists have a lot of poodle haircuts.
You watched Rugrats, right?
I've seen some Rugrats.
Well, Rugrats was around the same time as Dexter's Lab, and last week you said you knew nothing about Dexter's Lab.
I don't know what to tell you about my past. All I can tell you is that it includes a handful of episodes of Rugrats. I'm familiar with the Rugrats. No regrets about the Rugrats.
How about Johnny Bravo?
Mm-mm.
God. Ugh. All right. Got a bad taste.
How about Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Shout out to Zorak, listener of the show. Zorak, originating from the Bible. You can hear more about that. Episode 10 of the 10ish podcast, where we discuss the most Google searched monsters in the history of the world. So we got 1 lab, 2 German Shepherd, 3 Golden Retriever, 4 French Bulldog, 5 English Bulldog, 7 Poodle, 9 Yorkie. We're missing 6, 8, and 10. And next I'm going to guess the Rottweiler.
Yes. I did think you might guess with that one. The Rottweiler is number 8. For the folks at home, a Rottweiler is a big, strong dog with a big square head. Nick, is your dog part Rottweiler? His head and his coloring look.
Yeah, everyone always asks that, but as far as we know, he has no Rottweiler, but we don't really know everything he has in him, so it's possible. But a Rottweiler makes a good guard dog. They're strong, they're big, they got 2 eyes, 4 legs, 2 in the front, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 ears.
Wait, 2 eyes in the front, 2 eyes in the back? No wonder they're a good guard dog.
Right. How many assholes do they have? Just one?
Yours has 2, one on its body and one doing a podcast. A Rottweiler is a badass dog. They're big, strong badasses. They wear big, thick, crazy chains around their necks. They're big collars with spikes on them.
Yeah. They exclusively wear those.
Rappers in the 90s loved Rottweilers, especially Rottweilers that had not been fixed.
Fix your dogs, people.
Yeah. Spay and neuter your dogs. Don't let them walk around making sad baby dogs. Shout out to famous Rottweiler Chop from Grand Theft Auto 5. Another Rottweiler who was not fixed. Did you play with Chop in Grand Theft Auto 5?
I have not played Grand Theft Auto 5, but I know you play that by virtue of you mentioning it every episode.
Well, I got a new game.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I know that one too.
There's dogs in Red Dead Redemption. Don't worry.
Are they up to snuff with dog meat from Fallout?
I don't know. The artificial intelligence on these video game animals has gotten so sophisticated that they poop now. So I need to follow a dog around in Red Dead Redemption to see if he takes a shit. Because I know the horses do. I followed a horse around last night until it took a shit.
Okay. So if you went to a real-life Westworld...
I'd be following around the horse waiting to see when it took a shit.
Yeah, okay.
And then I would run as fast as I could to my wife to tell her.
You know, that is an underrated aspect of the Old West, is how stinky and shitty it is at all times.
I love history. I love historical documentaries and books and movies. And I have to continue to remind myself that up until like 1945, nobody wore deodorant and everyone was covered in like dirt and shit all the time.
And semen.
Yeah. From their bulldogs.
Exactly. Should we round out the list with 6 and 10 here?
Yeah.
How about the Doberman Retriever?
No, he's not on here.
How about the Great Dane?
No. I'm not convinced that a bunch of Great Danes aren't guys who've chosen to live in dog suits.
Is number 6 big or small?
Number 6 is medium-sized. Small to medium-sized. It is a sporting dog.
Sporting dog. Wait, okay, so...
They are famous for their loud, howling bark. Or braying bark. Beagle. Number 6 is the Beagle. Which does have one of the most obnoxious barks.
It's still not as obnoxious as my sidekick host.
Famous Beagle is a fellow by the name of Snoopy from Peanuts.
Yeah, and let's address this. He doesn't look like a beagle, okay?
No, he doesn't.
It's bothered me from day one.
He's the laziest beagle.
And he's white.
Well,
Beagles aren't white.
And his sidekick, what's that little yellow bird's name? Persimmon. What's that bird's name?
I don't know.
Epiphany.
I know what you're talking about.
He has this little bird friend that has a cutesy little name. That bird has the roundest goddamn beak.
What the hell?
Does that not bother you that a bird has a head like a thumb?
No, it bothers me that you are wasting airtime with this.
What's that bird's name? Jeffrey? Little
it's
bird.
Woodstock.
From
Woodstock.
Yeah, Woodstock. Woodstock, you dickhead. You don't have a beak.
He has a beak. It's just a different beak. Sometimes people and animals are different than your preconceived little mind.
Name a little tiny yellow bird that's real.
Let's focus on the dog, which doesn't look anything like a beagle.
I hate you, Woodstock.
I can't watch.
Look, here's a picture of Woodstock wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, I like it when he smiles.
He smiles a lot.
He has a good little smile.
Oh, his occupation is he's Snoopy's secretary.
Any other facts on beagles?
No, I just wrote down Snoopy.
Okay.
I don't know anything else about him. Everyone knows what a beagle looks like. They have... Okay, for the folks at home, beagles are...
2 legs in the front, 2 legs in the back.
6 eyes, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, 2 on the stomach.
They can spin a web.
They're white. Yeah, they shoot silk from their spinnerets. They have... they're white with black and brown spots. They have long ears. They bray when they bark. And they can fly.
Yeah, everyone knows what the beagle is. Is number 10 the Basset Hound?
No. Number 10 is the one I don't think you're ever going to guess. And
I'm
don't
try.
Okay, it's not a Basset Hound.
Have we got that other German dog yet?
No, it's a German dog. This is the other German dog. I had to look this dog up because I recognized what it looked like when I saw it, but I did not recognize the name. Once I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, that dog. And you'll say the same thing. And so will all of our listeners, including Leonardo DiCaprio, Woodstock. I think you mentioned a dead dog.
Han Solo. And then also... Jabba the Hutt.
Peasants. Normal peasants like us. Do you know... Just name a dog that has the word German in its name.
Oh, okay. German is in the name.
Yeah.
German rascal.
No.
German poochie.
God. Poochie.
German Chihuahua.
It's the German short-haired pointer.
Oh, pointer.
And if you don't know what this dog looks like, I didn't know until I looked it up. And then, like I said, everyone has seen this dog somewhere. It's
shocking that that's higher than
a
lot of these other dogs.
It's black and white spots are mottled all over with larger brown spots and a brown, mostly brown head. They're shaped a lot like, well, they're shaped like a pointer, which is similar, I guess, in shape to a leaner Labrador.
I'm looking at him now. Cute guy.
Yeah, it's a good-looking dog.
Yeah, I've seen him a bunch of times, but I've definitely seen him less than the Shih Tzu and the Doberman.
My guess is that this dog is popular with
hunters.
With hunters, I think. I think this is a popular, probably duck hunting dog. Maybe
you don't think people want to go hunting with the Shih Tzu,
the Yorkshire Terrier,
the Beagle?
You could go shopping or hunting for shopping. Yeah, you can go shopping with a Yorkie.
Some dead animals.
You could go hunting with a Yorkie for crickets.
Yeah.
So the thing about the German short-haired pointer is this is its first year in the top 10.
Huh.
2017 is the first year it broke into the top 10 after being number 11 for the 2 years before that. And it kicked out for the first time since at least 2013, boxers. Boxers have been steadily dropping. German short-haired pointer kicked boxers out of the top 10.
So what number is a boxer now? 11?
Boxer is number 11.
Well, you learn something new every day with the 10-ish podcast.
Some days, less than others. So I'm going to go one more time through that top 10. Number 10, most popular dog breeds in the U.S. for 2017 was a German short-haired pointer. Number 9, Yorkie. Number 8, Rottweiler. Number 7, Poodles. Number 6, Beagles. Number 5, Bulldogs, specifically English. Number 4, French Bulldogs. Number 3, Golden Retriever. Number 2, the Nazis of the dog world, German Shepherds. And number 1, Labrador Retriever. There you have it.
Maybe next time we'll do the top 10 most popular dog breeds in Finland.
And for those of you who remember, I promised cute and cuddly. And aside from all the mentions of dog death and Nazis,
yeah,
and the nasty bulldog stuff, I think at least 45% of this ended up being cute and cuddly.
I will respectfully disagree, but that's okay.
All right, agree to disagree.
I think the amount of bulldog sex talk really helped layer things out a little bit, kind of helped rounded things out.
Cuddly but not cute.
We're going to wrap things up, but before we do got to throw in a quick plug for one of our new favorite podcasts, and instead of me rambling about it, I'm just going to let you listen to this.
I'm Player 1 Toby.
And I am Player 2 Goose.
And we are the Secret Levels Podcast.
We are a very short, fast, and funny podcast about the classic video games that you love and some newer ones. We slam through them one episode at a time. We try to keep it within the 30-minute limit and keep you that fast and funny, which we only deliver, folks.
And we're going to touch on games from all different types of systems, from Nintendo to Sega to PlayStation.
We're doing from 1942 to Zelda, because we're not counting numbers. Everything's part of the alphabet here on this show.
So check out our show on all the major podcasting platforms and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Secret Levels Pod.
Do that or get a game over, folks.
Hell yeah.
Add that podcast to your listening list. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, subscribe to our show. You can subscribe on any podcast app. You can do it on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. We are there. Subscribe and rate us 5 stars. Write us a little review ski. And while you're doing that, you can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 10ishpod. That's 10ishpod. That's the place to go if you want to see cute, cuddly pictures of dogs this week. And I also post a lot of damning evidence for Brandon and his hot dog consumption habits.
Yeah, damning evidence of random photos from around the internet of assholes eating hot dog.
That's hashtag hot dog Brandon. I'm sure you've already tweeted that by now a couple hundred times, but do it again so Brandon really gets the message that people aren't buying his propaganda.
I've never eaten a hot dog in front of you.
You've eaten Del Taco immediately after In-N-Out.
You did the exact same thing.
No.
Yes, you did.
I pretended. You know how people sometimes pretend like they take a drink even though they don't? because they don't want to offend someone. That's what I did to you.
Did you pretend your bloated gut sticking out after that?
All right. Well,
thanks everybody.
What else?
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. We're going to be back next week with the whole new top 10-ish list. Don't worry, everybody. I'll be doing the top 10 list that week, so I'll actually have some research and evidence and hashtag Nick's notes to accompany instead of just writing the word Snoopy as an entire talking point. And Snoopy, if anyone tries to tell you he's a beagle, you punch them right in the face. Brandon, it's been somewhat of an inconvenience, not a pleasure. So thank you for your time.
Sure.
We will see you next week.
Later.
We'd like to thank Kevin MacLeod for his song Hackbeat, which we found on Incompetech.com for the official Tennis Podcast theme.